Costco makes almost no money on the groceries in your cart. The rotisserie chicken, the giant tubs of peanut butter, the $1.50 hot dog, most of it barely breaks even, and some of it loses money on purpose. Everyone thinks Costco is a store that sells food cheap. It isn't. Costco is a membership company that happens to sell groceries, and once you see how the money actually flows, you can't unsee it. By the end of this, you'll understand the single number that runs the entire company, the one line on the balance sheet that turns almost all of Costco's profit. It's not sales, it's not margins, it's a fee most members forget they even pay. And it explains everything: why the aisles are laid out the way they are, why the hot dog has cost $1.50 since 1985, and why Costco would rather annoy you than raise a price. Let's follow the money. Walk into a Costco and it looks like retail. Concrete floors, towering pallets, a river of shopping carts. In 2023, Costco did over $240 billion in sales. That's a staggering number, bigger than the GDP of most countries. So you'd assume Costco is printing money on all that merchandise. Here's the twist: it's barely making anything. Costco's gross margin on merchandise runs around 11%, less than half of a typical retailer. Most grocery and retail chains mark up their goods 25, 30, even 40%. Costco deliberately caps itself. Company rule: no branded item can be marked up more than 14%, and Kirkland store brand items no more than 15%. If a buyer negotiates a lower cost from a supplier, that saving is passed straight to you. It is not kept as profit. Costco is running the merchandise side of its business as close to break even as it can survive on. Which raises an obvious question. If you make almost nothing on the products, how are you a profitable company at all? Here's the answer. Costco's real product isn't the food, it's the card in your wallet. In its 2023 fiscal year, Costco collected about $4.6 billion in membership fees. Now look at its total net income for that year, roughly $6.3 billion. Do the math. Membership fees accounted for the large majority of the company's entire profit. Think about what that means. You could strip out nearly all the profit Costco earns from actually selling groceries, electronics, tires, and gold bars, and the company would still be deeply profitable, purely on the fees people pay just to walk in the door. That's the whole machine. Costco sells you products at almost cost, which builds ferocious loyalty and staggering value, and that value convinces roughly 130 million cardholders to hand over $60 or $120 every single year, before they buy a single thing. The groceries are the bait. The membership is the business. And it's a beautiful trap, because it feeds itself. Because Costco makes its money on the fee and not the markup, every incentive flips. A normal retailer wants to squeeze more margin out of each product. Costco wants to squeeze less. Because the cheaper the products, the more insane the value of the membership, the more people renew. Costco's membership renewal rate sits around 90% in the US and Canada. 9 out of 10 people re-up, year after year. That's not customer satisfaction. That's a subscription business disguised as a warehouse. This is why the famous loss leaders exist. The $1.50 hot dog combo, unchanged since 1985, despite decades of inflation. The $4.99 rotisserie chicken, which Costco has admitted it loses money on. Reportedly tens of millions of dollars a year. To a normal store, selling a chicken at a loss is insanity. To Costco, it's marketing. That chicken isn't there to make a profit. It's there to make you renew a $60 card. The loss on the chicken is smaller than the fee you'll pay to keep buying it. Once you understand that the fee is the product, the entire store makes sense. The layout that forces you past the electronics and the seasonal aisles to reach the milk in the far back corner, that's engineered exposure, keeping you inside the value machine. The limited selection, around 4,000 products versus a supermarket's 30,000, isn't a weakness. Fewer items means Costco buys each one in colossal volume, crushing the supplier on price, which deepens the value, which protects the fee. The treasure hunt feel, where the fancy item is there this week and gone the next, keeps you coming back to check. Even Costco's refusal to spend heavily on advertising works because the value sells itself and word of mouth does the rest. Every dollar not spent on ads is another dollar of value defending that renewal rate. Every strange, customer-unfriendly seeming decision, no bags, few brands, a maze of a floor plan, is actually in service of one thing, protecting the 90% of people who renew. But here's the tension hiding inside the model, and it's the thing Costco fears most. The entire company rests on a promise. The membership must always feel worth it. The moment members do the math and decide the fee costs more than it saves, the renewal rate cracks. And because the merchandise runs at near break even, there is almost no profit cushion underneath to catch the fall. That's why Costco is so terrified of raising prices, and why when it finally nudged the membership fee up in 2024, its first increase in 7 years, it moved with extreme caution and paired it with relentless value elsewhere. It's also why Costco cracks down so hard on card sharing and installs membership scanners at the door. It isn't pettiness. When your entire profit is a fee, protecting who pays that fee is protecting the entire company. So the next time you're in that checkout line holding a $4.99 chicken and $1.50 hot dog, remember, you're not the customer getting a deal. You're the subscriber, and the deal is the thing keeping you subscribed. And once you learn to see it, you'll spot the same trick everywhere. The cheap console that sells you games, the free app that sells your data, the coffee subscription, the warehouse club. The product in front of you is almost never where the money is. The question worth asking about any business you love is simple. What are you actually paying for? And is it the thing you think it is? If this changed how you see the store you shop at every week, subscribe. Because we break down the hidden business model behind one company you use every day, every single week. Your card's already in your wallet. Might as well understand what it's really buying.